Earlier this week, we went to a Waffle House, and you look in at what they're cooking and how they're cooking, it's super gross. Am I the only dad that has kids that demand taking toys into restaurants? My son is really into Legos right now, and everywhere we go, he brings Legos. It's like all about like the who's who of Legos. Who's gonna come with them inside, restaurant X? Do other kids do this, or is this just my kids? This week, my kids played soccer. It turns out I'm like a crazy soccer dad. I am that guy who just goes crazy on the sideline yelling for my kids and every other kid on the team. I completely lost my voice after their game. The next day I was supposed to do some trainings, and I did those trainings, but I was supposed to be speaking for like hours the next day. So I get into the trainings and I'm like, hey guys, I'm so happy you're here. Don't worry about my voice. I'm a soccer dad. And everybody's like, oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. But yeah, so they played, they didn't win, but they're definitely getting better, and that's exciting to see. I guess as a parent, it's really cool to see your kid getting better at something with a little bit of practice and hard work. That's something that really kind of pays off, and I think that's exciting. So business-wise, I've decided this week that putting everyone's tasks on a whiteboard in our office seems to be helping our staff stay pretty on the ball and accountable. So I think we're going to try to do that from now on. I've not been a list guy most of my life, but I've decided this week that I think I'm going to become one, because it's really gratifying erase it or like put a mark through it really viciously, like done. And I've decided that, it's not that I've decided, I just realized that forgiveness is like really, really important for being able to grow spiritually. Okay, so recently I got fired from a job for whatever reason. The client and we just didn't agree, and that's fine, whatever, But this week I remember like being upset and like visibly upset about the client like saying that my design wasn't good enough, So I realized that I was really holding this as a grudge, and I wasn't really letting it go. So in order to, really kind of move on, personal growth and spiritual growth, I think it's really important for us to be able to let things like that go. Somebody thinks you're a terrible designer, so what? Right? Even if you are awesome. Okay, maybe I still need to let a little bit of that go. But ever since I watched The Hobbit, I have been like unhealthily obsessed with the dwarf song Misty Mountains Cold. Or I think that's what it's called, Misty Mountains Cold, the dwarf song. I don't know. That song has just got me like in this weird place, and I can't help constantly wanting to sing it. And I've even gotten my daughter sing it and my son sing it, so it's really awesome, because we'll sit at the table and I'll say, far over, and they'll just jump in and start singing this song, and it's great. So, for the very first time ever in the history of the internet, and ever in the history of Steven Schneitman, am I going to sing this song to you right now. I cannot remember the lyrics to songs to save my life, so I'm probably going to get this wrong, and that's okay. That's just who I am. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, the pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blaze with light. Ta-da! I found some awesome examples of people singing it. Look at them here, here, and here, or wherever they are on the screen. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna love them. I dare you to watch them. Okay, one last thing for this week's blog, this week's vlog. My wife is 8 months pregnant. Pretty often now, it's pretty regular that she's asking me to rub her back or rub her feet because she's pregnant and she needs her feet rubbed. And that's perfectly fine. I love it. I love doing it. I'm glad that I'm able to ease some of her discomfort. Here's my question. This is particularly for those of you who are married, or those of you who have been pregnant, or those of you who are currently pregnant. Actually, it's really for anybody. I'm just curious what you think. What is acceptable for a husband to ask for from his 8-month pregnant wife? For example, I work all day. I come home, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I just want to relax. It'd be great if I could just throw my feet up and say, hey babe, just rub my feet, please. It feels so good. But she's 8 months pregnant. I can't ask her to do that, right? Or can I? That's the question. That's my dilemma. Now that pretty much does it for this week's vlog. Oh wait, there is one more thing. The obligatory pony pet.
Big bush, bigger than him. Let's look inside. I'll take the roof off so we can see some things better.